Okay, so I wanna discuss. Well, the topic of this video is rational thinking doesn't appear to be enough to explain how the universe works. Prove me wrong. Of course you can't. So anyway, when we look at the universe and we try to explain it rationally, we reach things which are beyond intuition. Yeah, I keep referring to the double slit experiment, and obviously there's nothing intuitive about that. About that wave particle duality, there's nothing intuitive about that, nothing rational about that. The more and more we get closer to understanding how the universe works, the more we realize that rational thinking is not sufficient for explaining how the universe works. Now, if you're an atheist watching this, can you explain to me how science is reaching a point in its development where we're noticing that rational thinking is not sufficient for explaining the origins and the works of the universe, but yet you still insist on having that point that if you can't rationalize it, you're not going to believe in it? Yeah. So it seems as if science is moving away from the atheist point of view. Yeah, this is still not proof of the Almighty, because that can never be proven. Yeah, you can never rationalize the Almighty. Yeah, that's the key point here. The Almighty can't be rationalized. Yeah, because if you understand how the Almighty works, you be the Almighty, so you can't rationalize it. It's beyond your comprehension. Yeah, so I stick to my point. Yeah, which has been my raison d'être. Yeah, so my reason for being is to understand how someone can be cognizant with my cognition or my consciousness. Yeah, so obviously it appears as if I'm not looking for a rational explanation to how people can see what my consciousness is seeing or understanding. Yeah, so the oven's gonna go ping in a minute. That's rational thinking. Rational thinking can only take us so far. Yeah, beyond which, if we still have a need to understand how the universe works, we're gonna have to indulge in irrational thinking. Yeah. And another point, if you believe in the supernatural and the Almighty's nature is supernatural, then you contradict yourself when you say that you believe in the supernatural but you don't believe in the Almighty. So it's as if the Almighty is revealing himself slowly to these people, the non-believers. Yeah, because they are also finding out that you cannot rationalize the universe. Yeah, you cannot rationalize what consciousness is. You cannot rationalize quantum mechanics, and you can't rationalize the Almighty, as we've always been saying. You create a phenomenon that you can't rationalize. Yeah, and you brand that as the Almighty. Yeah, okay, and then you set about trying to rationalize things. Yeah, and when you reach a point and you say, okay, this is something we would never be able to rationalize, you leave that to the Almighty. If it's something that happens that you never be able to rationalize, yeah, you leave that to the Almighty. Yeah, and when you think about consciousness, you can never know what consciousness is. Consciousness is like a trick. It's like what you see in diffraction of the double slit experiment. It's a trick. Once you realize it, it'll stop happening. So there are things which I would term things we should not realize. Where whether we could or not, we should not realize. Yeah, because we'll put an end to them. Consciousness is one of these things that you should never attempt to realize. Yeah, because you put an end to your consciousness. You stand there like a vegetable looking like that. Yeah, so you should never try to realize the nature of consciousness. And to make it safe for you, the Almighty didn't give you the capacity for realizing what consciousness is. I've experienced situations where I've accidentally realized what consciousness is, yeah, and consciousness stopped being what it is, yeah, until I forgot and consciousness started again. They are illegal operations. Why are they there? Why are they illegal operations in nature? Why are they things we can never see? Yeah, this is for our own safety. Yeah, so this is a short video just letting you know that rational reasoning, rational thinking is not sufficient for explaining how the universe works. Okay? And what does this mean? Yeah? So, where it's a matter of choice, you can choose to believe in the Almighty or choose not to. But once you believe in the Almighty, with me, I never try to rationalize the Almighty or figure out what He is, because that's way beyond me. Yeah? I just, when the question comes up, I choose the side of saying that I believe in the Almighty. Yeah? That stops me from from hurting my head by going into questions which I cannot comprehend. And when I reach a point where I know that consciousness can never comprehend that, yeah, at least I believed in the Almighty. Yeah? But now, when you reach this point, what are you going to do? Yeah? Then you're going to ask yourself, who created these boundaries beyond which my consciousness cannot go? How do I expand my consciousness in such a way that I go beyond these boundaries? Then you create a being that's superior to you, artificial intelligence. But then, if he knows, he can't explain it to you because your mind is limited, so you never know anyway. Yeah? All you'd have done is created something superior to you that treats you as second class. Yeah? So it's a matter of accepting that consciousness has boundaries. In order for it to manifest, it has to be bounded. Yeah? It's bounded by these phenomena that we can never understand. That's what bounds consciousness. Yeah? So remember, rational thinking is not sufficient for explaining the universe.